Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Bob Keller, who's our mayor for the fourth time, been a city councilor with 16 years, I think.
16 years.
16 years. Also owns a real estate company that's very successful out here. Keller Davis Real Estate, 3 offices, most of them based in Canyon Country, correct?
Actually, the 2 are in Newhall area.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
I always think about that.
Yeah,
It's Newhall there, yeah.
Feels like Canyon Country,
It
but
does.
actually is Newhall.
Right.
But our primary office is the Canyon Country office.
All right. So what do you feel about the market right now? Because the inventory is tight. So what we've seen is those that are most successful for either buying or selling a home is working with a experienced real estate agent, someone who has connections and has the confidence to guide them the right direction and not go by what the media or their friends say.
And you're 100% right. We've got access to information that really isn't always out there just to John Q. Citizen. I mean, we know that there's things out there you can get into and various websites, but the multiple listing service by far is the most accurate, up-to-date information that you can possibly draw upon and help support your clients and so that they can make responsible decisions. I mean, should they be selling or listing their home? Trying to look at some comparables and give good, accurate information.
You know, it's funny you bring up comparables, and I don't mean to say anything negative about our real estate community, but I do want to bring up something that has become a problem recently. When you take a listing, please look at the comparables. Please, 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 please don't just take the highest listing possible. Don't just take the highest offer. If you're taking an offer on a home for $40,000 more than the last comparable sale, news to you, you're going to have an appraisal problem. You know, it's something we're starting to see again. It usually happens every spring. This year it came late, and we're starting to see it in early summer. But, there's some sort of a leap in price, like a gap was created. And that gap's too large. You can't go from being worth $600 today to being worth $650 2 weeks from now. You just can't. You can't have that type of appreciation.
Generally, you're 100% right. And, sometimes I do say this to the agents. The boss is the client. They're the ultimate decision maker. All we can do is provide them the information. But I also tell them, if for whatever reason the client is dead set on going down a path that we know is going to be an impossible outcome, sometimes it's better to walk away.
Yeah, and I mean, or take it and educate them and know what the expectation is. And so
Right.
if you're having your home and it's going to sell for top dollar like that, make sure you have a buyer that has the means to cover the difference. And make sure you speak to them up front and say, hey, you know what? This property is going to come in low. You need to have the means to come in with an extra $20,000, $30,000. Are you comfortable with that? And that conversation should be had up front, not 10 days into.
Yeah, but it goes on both sides of the equation.
It sure does.
See,
yeah.
and it is. We've all seen it. If you're in this business, that appraisal comes back, and like you say, $30,000 or $40,000 off. We got a problem.
Yeah, and so you know what? I'm seeing more bombs than usual. I'm getting more calls about bombs. I'm getting calls about, hey, this appraisal came in. I heard one. We have one that we took over now that said it came in $100,000 low at a different lender. Now, we don't think we're going to come in $100,000 low on our appraisal. We do think it was a bad appraisal, but we're still going to come in 40 or 50 low. That price is just unreasonable.
That's still a big number.
Yep.
All right, so if you're looking to work with true professionals that can help you and guide you in a very challenging market, the market's challenging. There's very few listings out there, so it has to be done right. Whether you're selling your home and trying to get top dollar and not having the problems that Gino just mentioned, or you're trying to get into a home with very few homes available, you need to work with true professionals. So we have one right here, Mr. Bob Keller. So how can they get a hold of you and your team?
Well, thank you. We're local number, 661 area code 299 5570.
All right. Well, what's your website there?
It is kellardavis.com.
I figured it was
Thank you,
pretty
right.
easy there, Bob.
Yep.
But Bob does a great job. All those people are just amazing, real professionals, a lot of experience, and you need that today.
Do we still have a little bit of time to talk
Yeah.
about city government and the size of city
We have
government?
4 minutes.
I think this was kind of shocking, right? So we said, hey, I'm really impressed at every time we talk to Bob, I'm learning more and more about the inner workings of our city. And all of a sudden I say, well, what does it take to run a city with, over 200,000 people? Closer to 3 now, right?
Actually, the city is setting at about 220,000.
Okay.
That's in the incorporated portion. And then if we look at the Santa Clarita Valley, we're getting pretty close to 300,000.
So what does it take to operate this city so that, the average Joe like me can wake up in the morning and the trees are green and the water works and the streets are clean and there's not potholes and everything drains where it's supposed to? Those are the things we take for granted every day by living here, but what does it really take?
And we're getting that answer from, by the way, if you just tuned in, we're here sitting here with Bob Keller, our mayor for the 4th time. So he can give us some pretty good insight.
He may know what he's talking about, yeah.
Well, I will tell you, it does take a tremendous team effort, and we're so fortunate here in the city of Santa Clarita. One is we've got a superb city manager and a gentleman by the name of Ken Striplin. And he actually oversees the approximately 400 employees that we have at City Hall. He's responsible for them. And then we've got, of course, our special directors that are involved with public works and parks and recreation and so on and so forth, do a superb job for us. And we really have a city that we can all be very proud of.
And so how many people would you say it takes to run our city?
Well, if you're talking about the management aspect of it, we're looking at about probably 30 people that are actually in hands-on management of the various aspects of the city.
And total
but
city
again,
employees?
But we look at it with 400 employees all working out there on a regular basis and doing a great job for us.
So almost 2% of our population is employed just in operating the city itself.
About.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, but what else? I mean, you were mentioning that we have some new fun stuff coming up. We got another library being developed. We have a community center being developed.
We have a Canyon Country Community Center, which will be even larger than the one that we have presently in New Hall that, works with our youth and so forth. That's going to be a phenomenal addition to the Canyon Country area. Saugus will be receiving a new library. It's in the planning stages and so forth.
Where's the location for that?
Well, there's a couple of locations, but I kind of feel that if you're familiar with David March Park, which was annexed into the city about 3-4 years ago, but there's approximately 10 acres immediately next to that park that would, I think, make a great location for the new library. And our library system, guys, has worked out phenomenally well. It's been, I think, 6 years or so now that we created our own library system here in Santa Clarita, and it's just working out phenomenally well.
And, if you think to yourself that libraries aren't important, you probably believe that everything on the internet is true and that you can take a magic pill and lose 300 pounds in one day. So I think it's important to still have literature that you can touch and feel and can't get manipulated on the internet.
Absolutely.
All right, Bob, we want to thank you again for taking time out of your super busy schedule. Again, Bob Keller, our current mayor and owner of Keller Davis Real Estate. Again, what's your phone number there at Keller Davis Real Estate?
Again, it's same area code here in Santa Clarita, 661-299-5570.
And we want to thank you again for always giving us good insight of what's going on in our community, doing a great job for our community. We love you. And I know we're going to see you 4th of July, I'm sure, right?
I'll be on a horse.
On the horse. Always.
Go.
And if you don't go downtown to our 4th of July parade, you are missing out. It is amazing, but get there early, trust me.
Hey, the Cub Scouts will be out there this year with all their push carts. That'll be fun.
And Steve Corn will probably be cooking up pancakes for the Rotary there at Roger Dunn. So it's a great time. You have a great weekend. Have a great Saturday. Thank you for being part of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Check us out at donandgino.com. Have a great weekend and be good humans.